Hey muñecas, welcome to my channel. For today's video, I wanted to share with you guys this look that I really like, and it's perfect for winter days. You guys know that I am always down for a glowy look. I love seeing my skin dewy, and right now this time of year my skin is not feeling this healthy, even though I live in Florida and we have hot weather. This year actually has been kind of cold, so my skin is definitely feeling the change. It's feeling super dehydrated, super dull. I'm definitely going to be sharing some products that I use when my skin is feeling like that. If you want to see this radiant skin, glowy eyes for the winter time, then just keep on watching. I'm going to start off correcting my under eyes using my Master Camo pen in Apricot from Maybelline. And then I'm going to use my strobe cream from MAC to hydrate my skin, make sure that the makeup looks nice and glowy and my skin looks healthy. For foundation, I'm going to be using Estee Lauder Double Wear Nude Foundation. This foundation is super hydrating, it's long lasting, it's just a dream come true. And even though you can see that I start off using a brush, I always like to go in with a damped beauty blender, especially in winter time when my skin feels super dehydrated, because it just adds extra moisture to your skin. And then I'm going to move on to the eyes. I'm going to be using my paint pot in Soap Ochre just to prime my lids like I always do. For today's makeup, we're going to be using the Huda Beauty Desert Dust palette, and I'm going to start off with the lightest shade on the palette, which is Desert Sand. This is going to help us set that base, and it's also going to be a nice transition. So I'm blending that very nicely into all the upper crease area with an E40 brush from Sigma. Using the same brush, I'm taking Eden, which is slightly darker, also like on the peachy side, and we're going to go ahead and blend that all over the upper crease again, but this time slightly lower. So in a windshield swiper motion from the very beginning of your eye, like really close to your nose, all the way to the end of your eye, like towards the brow. So windshield swiper motion until everything looks nice and smooth. Next, with a 237 brush, also from Sigma, which is slightly smaller but also a blending brush, I am taking Blazing, which is pretty much an orange shade, and I'm first going to begin blending it into the lower crease, like right on the crease, and then I'm going to pack it on the outer and inner corner of the eyes. I did switch to a smaller brush when I was applying it to the inner corners of the eyes, just to make sure that we keep it nice and concentrated just where you want it. You don't want it to go too much into the crease, and of course just make sure that you blend it nicely into the other transitional shades. So now taking a Nefertiti, we're going to apply that right in the center of the lid. As you can see, we left this space here blank on purpose, of course, and you can go ahead and use a brush or your finger, whatever works best for you. To be honest, my fingers actually, I felt like it worked better, and just apply that in the center. We're going for a halo effect look today, and of course you can always go back in and blend some more. To highlight the brow bone, I'm using Candy Johnson and Too Faced Banana Pudding Powder. I do prefer a matte highlight, but this is completely up to you. If you want to use a shimmery champagne color shadow, you can go ahead and do so, but this really cleans out the look and gives our brows a little lift. To line my eyes, I'm going to be using Inglass Gel Liner in the color 77, and I'm going to be creating sort of like a subtle wing, nothing too dramatic, because we're going for more of like a daytime glam luminous look today, so nothing too dramatic. And then I'm going to continue curling my lashes and applying some mascara, and then of course this is optional, but you can also apply some false lashes. And I'm using some Demi Wispies that I cannot remember the brand. I think they Carina or Carcina, I don't know. I got them in a clothing store. And then to highlight my face and underneath my eyes, center of the nose, you guys know the drill, I'm going to be using my Shape Tape Concealer in medium. And then to contour my nose, I'm using the medium shade from the Cream Contour from Laura Mercier, which I have been enjoying a lot lately again. And I also like to apply a little bit right underneath the lips to make them look larger. then blending everything in with the Beauty Blender. And once I'm done with that, I'm going to continue contouring the face using cream contour. Whenever my skin is dry, I do enjoy using cream contour because then you don't have to use too much powder and then the skin looks more luminous and more healthy. So that's what I'm doing here, just applying it around the forehead, any area that you want to contour, and then once again blending that in, this time actually with a brush. I do feel like I have a little bit more control with a brush whenever I'm blending in the darker colors, so that's why you see that I'm using a brush right here. And make sure that you take your time because a not so well blended cream contour can be scary, so make sure that you do that. And then I'm going to go ahead and highlight the face, like the highest points of my face, using this liquid highlighter. It's from Becca in the tone Opal. And then I applied it in any area that I want to highlight, right above the brow, to give it a little lift, and blend that using the beauty sponge. Now to set everything in place, I'm going to be taking a MAC and Patrick Star Translucent Setting Powder, and I'm going to be very light-handed, so I'm first going to begin applying it right underneath my eyes to set the concealer, a little tiny bit in the center of the forehead, any area that you feel that your makeup might move faster, or maybe you just get greasy in this area. For me, it's like right here, like around the chin area, because I tend to touch it a lot, so I'm applying the smallest amount of powder just to set everything in place. And then I'm going to follow with my Hula bronzer, and again a tiny amount just so that we can set that contour and intensify just a tiny bit the contour as well. Then I'm going back to the eyes. I first start off with Eden from inner corner to outer corner once again of the lower lash line, and then using the darkest orange shade, which, what was the name? I forgot the name again. Blazing, I think, or Racing. One more time from inner corner to outer corner of my lower lashes. To highlight the inner corners of the eyes, I'm using Nefertiti once again, using a 230 brush from Sigma. This is just a simple pencil brush and very precise right in there. I love that trick. I cannot live without that. And then I'm going to go ahead and line my waterline using a brown liner. This one is from MAC. And then going back to the face, the blusher I'm going to be using to get some color back in there, it's Party from Tarte, which I actually included in my 2017 favorites. I just love it. It goes with any look. So I'm applying it on the apples of the cheeks and blending it with the contour. Now back to the glow. I'm going to be taking my Aurora Glow Kit by Anastasia and picking up the shade Luna, which is the whitest one of a palette. I'm going to be applying that on the upper cheeks, high bones, you know, the highest part of my face. And I love the highlight. I know that it can look frightening because it's kind of white, but trust me, it blends into the skin beautifully and it just gives me a beautiful glow. I love it. And then we're gonna go ahead and set everything in place and get a little bit more dewiness from my NYX setting spray. It's a dewy setting spray from NYX, and that's also gonna help our makeup last longer, blend everything in. And then now to the lips. I'm gonna start off lining them first using Spice from Milani, and then using a nude lipstick from Pipsy, which I cannot remember the name, but I will leave it in the description box. And then I really have been into glossy lips lately, so I'm going to go back in using Kylie's lip gloss in the tone Literally, which is a beautiful nude as well. And with that, we complete today's look. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it, that you learned something new, that it was helpful. Thank you so much for watching. Once again, I love you all, and don't forget to subscribe, and I see you next time. Besos.